Hey everybody, and welcome back to another one of Mudflap's movie reviews. My name is Mudflap, and today I will be reviewing the psychological thriller Don't Worry Darling. Let's get started. So this movie was surprisingly good. I went into it with, excitement, but mostly I didn't really know what to expect. I'm not familiar with Olivia Wilde's directing skills and style at all. I'm not really familiar with her as a person at all, really. The only things I really know about Olivia Wilde is she's in a relationship with Harry Styles, who is one of the main characters of the movie. I never knew what her directing style was, but after seeing this movie, her directing style is on point for psychological thrillers, and I really hope she continues to make more of these movies like this because I think she's got the gift. The characters in this movie were awesome. I loved Harry Styles and Florence Pugh's chemistry. It was really great seeing their chemistry work together, and Florence Pugh is really starting to take off in her career. Harry Styles, mainly, the singer, but in an interview he said he wasn't really super interested in acting that much, but I've really enjoyed him since I saw him in Dunkirk. He definitely has a great acting capability, and I just really hope to see him in more movies, but this movie is really well written. The music was phenomenal. Perfect type of music for this kind of movie. Really just gets you in the zone and gets you in that mentality, gets you in that mental state you need to be in to really fully immerse yourself in a psychological thriller. I also like the setting of it. It was in the 1960s California. We got to, all this old classic music, really cool cars, the simple life, really simple life. I'm sure life back in the 60s wasn't as simple as people portrayed as, but compared to today's standard, it definitely is. But I just like the simplicity of it and how, it just really drew you in an attractive set in an attractive way of, oh, look, it's that perfect world pretty much. Perfect job, perfect car, perfect neighbors, perfect place to live. Your love life is perfect. You're making lots of money, like nothing is wrong. It's the ideal situation that everybody wants to be in. But that was the problem with this movie, is everyone was trying to be perfect. They didn't want to deal with the problems that the world often throws at you. So they're in this place to get away from all that, but sooner rather than later, Florence Pugh's character, Alice, starts to unravel the mystery of we're being used, we're being played, there's something much bigger going on here than we're realizing. And that goes into my favorite moments part. One of my favorite moments of this movie was when Alice finally figured out what was going on. A big part of why I love psychological thrillers so much is I always like waiting for that moment where the main character finds out the truth and they start challenging the truth and things start to unravel and people's eyes start to be opened. That's what makes psychological thrillers amazing for me. The challenging aspect of it, the challenging of authority, the challenging of should it be this way. In this movie, the main theme is control. It's all about control. That was a quote in the movie. And when you have that one person, that one outlier who challenges that control, that's what makes a movie like this so intriguing and enticing, and just you really start to relate to that character. And yes, we all want control in life, but more often than not, we don't have any control. So when we have the opportunities to make life perfect and have life in our control, we don't want to let go of that control, that power, that perfect world. And that's the main theme in the movie. And when all that comes apart, it's chaos. Another big quote of the movie was, what is the opposite of progress? Chaos. And that's exactly what happens in the movie. As things start to unravel, it becomes chaos. It would be much simpler just to stay in the flow of progress and not screw anything up. Why would you want to screw up a perfect thing? But those moments, there are a lot of small moments that all led up to like that one huge moment where Alice finally just had enough and she was seeing through all the lies. And that just made the movie just take off, got really crazy, and I absolutely loved it. For psychological thrillers to make a successful psychological thrillers, there's a lot of moving pieces, and I've seen really good psychological thrillers and I've seen bad ones. And what I found is there are a few aspects to the movie that you need to make sure you nail down right off the bat, or the movie could fail catastrophically. One of the biggest parts to a psychological thriller has to do with the character's arc. Their character arc has to make sense, but it also has to be a good one. Most psychological thrillers, you can kind of tell what's going to happen next, but the really good ones, you have no idea what's going to happen. And this movie was predictable at some points, but for the most part, I didn't really know what was going to happen. I loved how Alice's character arc was just phenomenal, and also Harry Styles' character Jack also had a really interesting character arc as well. But there are a few other aspects of the movie too. Another one is using the setting that you're in. They use that setting in the 1960s, rural California, really, really well, and they use that to their advantage. And then of course you combine that with music. Music is another huge part, but also like sounds and other voices and other things that kind of just are in the background, but they're important. Visually too, there's a lot of visual effects that make it. You need to have strong visual cues too, symbolism. Another big one is you need to be able to really feel the character's emotions. If you can really track along with the character and feel what they're feeling, you're in a great psychological thriller adventure. And I was tracking with Alice the entire time, especially when it got really crazy. I was feeling what she was feeling. I was nervous, I was scared just like she was, and that's exactly what you want to get out of a psychological thriller. Another one, you need to have a shock to the narrative, something that completely throws off what you think is going to happen, or like what you kind of could guess is going to happen. Have something that completely throws a curveball in the entire thing. And you know, the plot twists are important too. Lots of plot twists, lots of twists and turns, and a shock to the mental system of how you think it's going to happen and how you think it's going to go, and it completely flips upside down and goes in a completely different direction. If a movie can, you know, if a psychological thriller can at least check off a few of those boxes, it's on its way to becoming a really good psychological thriller. This one was a great psychological thriller, and like I said, I hope Olivia Wilde directs more movies like this, because I think these movies have a lot of promise in the future of cinema. So for Don't Worry Darling, I'm going to give it an 8 out of 10 Mudflaps. And before you go, drop in the comments below, what is your favorite psychological thriller? And as always, if you like this video, give me a thumbs up, hit that subscribe button, ring that bell, and I'll see you next time.